Good evening to you. Today we will take up appointment of judges of Supreme Court and High Courts. This has become a very sensitive topic nowadays. In fact, there is a strong sentiments against collegium system, and there are many who are in favor of collegium system, and there are many who are against it. In fact, the government is not very happy, and constitutional experts are not very happy with the collegium system, and also civil society is also not very happy. In fact, law minister has recently said that it delays the process of appointments. For expediting the appointments, the collegium system should be replaced. That was the view expressed by not only by the law minister but many of the constitutional experts. The other side, if you give due credit to the new Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud said he is welcome for any review of the system. It's readily agreed. Not only that, there seems to be some remarks that the delay in appointment of judges is not merely because of the process of collegium system, but the delay occurs even because of the government. Because he cited certain cases, he means Supreme Court cited a few cases where the appointment is pending clearance by government for nearly a year. I do not know to what extent it is correct or not, that we are not here to judge it. But the fact remains that there is some part of delay on the part of the government. And as government says, as the constitutional experts say, that the collegium system is opaque, it is not transparent, there is no accountability. What are the norms under which the judges are selected, and what are the discussion happening? Is there any minutes? All closed door. This is one view of the constitutional experts. The other view is the Supreme Court says, no, everything cannot be disclosed. For example, let us say you delay a appointment of the High Court judge who is being elevated to Supreme Court. What will happen? High Court it is 62 years. Supreme Court it is 65 years. So if a judge of the High Court, he is nearing 61, 62, naturally if you delay the process of appointment, remember, he will be deprived of the judgeship in Supreme Court. He will be the loser. So there is every reason, every need to expedite the appointment, because it's a human, misery that a person expecting a promotion and in which extends his tenure also, we should be more sympathetic towards him normally, because it is as good as a departmental promotion committee. Suppose you are within the zone of consideration. You are due for retirement in 6 months. So naturally you will expect your promotion. Suppose the DPC is not held for 6 months, what you will say? You will be retiring. And after retirement, whether the DPC held or not, you may get a notional increase. That is for your salary, for fixation of pay, etc. But practically there is no benefit. And the other side is government view may be that without verification, how can we appoint? That is also a very valid point. See, there is a need for sending a file to the government to verify the character and antecedents, etc. So naturally, you cannot blame it also. So every system is created by human being, and every human being, you can say no human being is perfect. Any system created by a human being cannot be free from imperfection. It's all improvement. There are number of judges who have been, selected by the executive, who have thrilled very well, who have excelled very well. Similarly, who have been selected by the collegium, they have excellently, they have done the work. They have been lauded even international level. Krishna Iyer and J.S. Verma, all these people are very eminent people. So you have to find a via media instead of blaming. That is not the correct attitude. And either both are equally, they have a space. And the executive blaming the judiciary blaming the executive should have ended with in 1973 itself. After Mrs. Indira Gandhi, should not have happened. And Kesavananda Bharati versus State of Kerala case basic structure has been propounded, and to what extent the judiciary can have a say, to what extent, what is the role of the executive has already been decided. Nevertheless, we are not worried about this part. The thing is, another point you should remember in continuation, another point is the views of the judiciary is certain things you cannot discuss openly. Why they are opaque? Suppose, let us say, a High Court judge cannot be selected for Supreme Court. You want the details. Is it possible? Suppose in the same DPC case, a person has been overlooked, and because there are doubtful integrity, will you say all these things in open? Then what will happen to his future? He is also a member of the society. So what will, suppose you place yourself in his position, what will you feel? Your activities have been criticized, it's in the public domain. What is the secrecy? He will commit suicide. That's not the expected of a decent, civilized society. So you should give credence to that also, and find out a via media. That is the best thing you should understand. Now let us come back to what is the actual constitutional from the exam point of view. From the exam point of view, you should see what is the provision for appointment of judges in the Supreme Court as well as High Court. That is the point you should remember. Article 124. What is the article number? Article 124. What are the possible question? Possible question is collegium. From which case the collegium, does it have any support of constitutional provision? No. Whether it has been made as a result of constitutional amendment? No. Whether Parliament has made any law? No. Is there any country which is following the collegium system? No. Is it not odd that the judges select themselves? Yes, it is. But remember, you cannot compare USA with India. In USA, the judge's continuous office till life. Here it is only 65 years. Not only that, irrespective of the party, you can always, M.S. Gill has been made a minister, and Mr. Gogoi has been made a member of parliament. So you cannot say there it is a life, but it is not life in India. So you cannot compare US and India. They are in the different footing. And the Indian context is totally different. So you should, from the examination point of view, the collegium is that today in the collegium system. You should know from which case it has come, etc. Now remember, first let us see what is the constitutional provision. Constitutional provision says, Article 124 says, that the President of India appoints the judges of the Supreme Court after consulting such other judges of Supreme Court and High Court as he deems it necessary. That's all, very simple. While appointing the judges other than the Chief Justice of India, the President of India has to consult Chief Justice of India. These are the two provisions which are available in the Constitution, Article 124 of the Constitution. But are we following? No. There are several judgments after 1973. After Mrs. Gandhi overlooked three senior most judges and appointed a junior as the Chief Justice of India. After that, again, Dr. Justice Khanna has been has resigned, consequent upon the appointment of in 1977. Then, after that, the only seniority is followed as far as Chief Justice is concerned. Then most importantly, there are four judges case. There are four judges case. First judge's case, second judge's case, third judge's case, and fourth judge's case. First judge's case is in 1982. Remember, 1982. This is S.P. Gupta versus Union of India. S.P. Gupta versus Union of India. 5 judges, constitutional bench. Remember, 3:2 majority. This Supreme Court in this case declared that executive is at its liberty. The primacy of executive was actually upheld by the Supreme Court in this case. They also said, Supreme Court also said in this case, SP Gupta case, that any judge of the High Court can be transferred even to the outside the state. There is no person, and the primacy of executive. The president of India has been given immense powers on that. Remember, this is first judge's case, SP Gupta versus Union of India. Then comes the second judge's case in 1993. In this case, what has happened is 9 judges. First time the principle of collegium system was introduced. Collegium system in which case? Second judge's case, 1993. What is how many judges? 9 judges. It overruled the earlier decision of SP Gupta case, which was again given by the Supreme Court. In this case, that is what is known as the second judge's case, that is the Advocates on Record Association vis-a-vis Union of India. In that case, the Supreme Court said collegium system is necessary. Chief Justice of India has to consult 2 senior most judges, so 1 plus 2, and they will recommend the names for the judge of Supreme Court. And if there is any deviation, in the sense there is no unanimity, if 2 judges are against this, then Chief Justice will not send the recommendation. Remember, and these once the executive returns the recommendation, then again here it has been reconsidered and tendered again. Remember, executive is bound. These are all the clauses in the second judge's case of 1993. Remember, then comes the third judge's case. Third judge's case, it is not a judge's case. In fact, it is a reference made by Mr. K.R. Narayanan when he was the president. He referred the case, the 2 second judge's cases, for clarity, because there was no clarity on that, only 1 plus 2, and what is the ground for rejection, the ground for what is known as a difference of opinion has not been cleared. So, the President of India, by invoking Article 143, has referred the case again to the Supreme Court for its advice. Then came the popular collegium has been sternly established. What is that? The Supreme Court in this case, 1998, remember, 1998, 143, under Article 143, it gave the advice. It gave a large number of guidelines. First thing is, Chief Justice of India is according to seniority, once for all. No, forget about Shallard, Grover, Hegde, etc. And forget about H.R. Khanna, etc. Now, hereafter, it will be purely according to the seniority. Now, as far as judges are concerned, the Chief Justice of India should consult at least 4 senior most judges. Remember, 4 senior most judges, 1 plus 4. And he should give the recommendation to the executive. On the basis of the recommendation, the government will appoint. Remember, if at least 2 judges have differed, then Chief Justice is not expected to send the recommendation. So, this is the third judge's case, which is in vogue now. Okay, then there was a lot of criticism. To overcome this difficulty, this problem, government, Venkatacharya Committee recommended what is known as National Judicial Appointment Commission. National Judicial Appointment Commission was to be established by 99th Constitutional Amendment Act 2014. That has been passed by both the houses, and it has been enacted also by unanimous. Remember, all political parties wanted that. So, the act was made. And again, remember, in 2015 October, Supreme Court invalidated the constitutional amendment. Why? It is against the basic structure of Kesavananda Bharati State of Kerala of 1973, which laid down that judicial independence is one of the features of basic structure. So, accordingly, it was over. So, there are 4 judges' case. Today, what is the position? Very clear, only collegium. How many members? 1 plus 4. Chief Justice plus 4. And remember, peculiarly, this time, Mr. Chandrachud is heading the collegium, 4 senior most judges. We have to include 1 more. Now it is 6. Why 6? Because one of the condition is that the collegium should have the judge, that's a potential chief justice, that is who is going to be the chief justice. So he has to include the sixth also. Now the collegium consists of 6 judges, 1 plus 5. Remember, important for exam sake. With this we will end the class. Thank you.